Hi, everyone. I'm Ben Gromyko. I'm from InterNACHI. That's the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. And this is an InterNACHI webinar. They're free, live, online, and open to everyone. And to register for the next webinar or to watch a video recording, because we record all of our webinars, and that URL is nachi.org, nachi.org/webinars, nachi.org/webinars. So thank you for coming and attending. We've got about 150 people registered for the live event. You may be watching this on YouTube, or this could be a video recording, but thank you so much for being here. This is part 3. In the previous webinar, part 2, we learned about getting started with SEO, just the basics of SEO for inspector websites. And in this part 3, we're going to learn about optimizing your web page content, the stuff that you write for SEO to benefit your inspector website. And you can do this website design work yourself. If I can, then I know you can, but or you can give it to your website builder to do it for you. And when you delegate, well, that's a key to success. But at least you know what you're doing, right? If you ask your website builder to do something about SEO, or if you ask them, what are you doing for SEO? They should be able to give you a checklist and show you exactly what's being done. You could ask them about how is the content optimized, or has the structure of your web pages been organized with headings and subheadings. At least you'll know what you're talking about after this webinar. You may not want to do it yourself, but at least you can be on the same page with your website designer. If you're not a member of InterNACHI, you've never been a member, and if you'd like to try us out for a month, go to nachi.org/trial and enter the code webinar month, one word, nachi.org/trial, and enter the code webinar month. And if you like a discount, you can enter the code webinar. The InterNACHI School is a college. It's a tuition-free college for just home inspectors and building inspectors. And it's InterNACHI School. Within the trade organization of InterNACHI, we've got a college. So every free online course that you take at InterNACHI is provided by our college, InterNACHI School at internachi.edu. And if you'd like to get a new custom website for your home inspection business with SEO included, go to InterNACHI's official vendor for website designs, and that's Inspector Website Builder. And for details, visit www.nachi.org/website, nachi.org/website. And this is part 3 about optimizing your inspection web page content for SEO. And there are 6 parts to this series. Part 1, part 2, this is part 3. It's all about SEO, first 3 parts. And then the second part, the next 3 sessions, part 4, part 5, and part 6, they're about keywords. So we're going to learn about that as well. Okay, your content, your website content, the stuff that you write and put on your website and display it, plays a huge role in how your website ranks on search results, like a Google search. Solid content can drive traffic and can keep your website visitors really engaged with your website. Even better, it should be able to achieve the ultimate goal of scheduling a website visitor into our client, right? Just like people, search engines read websites. They read what's on your website in order to better understand what your website is all about. So the search engine algorithms, the processes, the decision-making processes that are made by these search engines are very sophisticated, just like people. But they crawl your website pages to analyze the relevance and the quality of your content. And then they get that content and then they match it with relevant related search queries, people searching on Google search, right? And that's the main profit driving goal of Google search, right? To match people who need something with a website that meets that need. And if they can do it really well, they make money on it. So they want to do it really well. And we don't know what the search algorithms are, but we kind of have a good idea based upon practice and evidence and history. And some of the things that Google actually will reveal and talk about. So how do you make the most of the stuff that's on your website? There's no one size fits all approach, but in this webinar, we're going to go over some tips on how to get started. First, you write content for people. You don't write content for search engines. That was a hack a while ago. Think about your audience and write for them. Think about your network of clients that you're building and write for them. Maybe they are first-time home buyers. Maybe they're home sellers. Maybe they're real estate investors or real estate agents. They're certainly your neighbors, right? Well, what are they looking for? What do these people want to know from you? What do they need? What do they think is important or valuable to them today, right now, or a year from now? What would make their lives better? And can you provide that? Then you structure your website, all of your pages, and the content on every page in a way that answers their questions and concerns. Okay? So let's start off with some simple stuff. Let's assume you're writing content, stuff on your website that you're going to display on your website for people searching for a home inspector. Okay? Well, your web page, especially your home page, above the fold, which is what you see on a mobile device without scrolling, what you see on a laptop or desktop screen without scrolling, right? Call it it's like a, whatever is above the, you know what a newspaper is? Like the papered newspaper above the fold. That's what we used to call it. So your web page, home page, better have evidence that you're an inspector. If they're searching for a home inspector in your area, in your zip code, your website better say something about your inspector. It should display it visually. Don't put a fancy, expensive looking modern home on your header on your homepage. They're not looking for that. What is that? I see that all the time. I see website design companies putting really expensive, multi-million-dollar, expensive, ultra modern luxury homes on a home inspector website. That's not what we do. That's not what we do in the United States and Canada. We inspect millions of homes that are basically existing homes and are about 20 years old, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And they look like the same, same cookie cutter kind of home. So why would, if they're looking for an inspector, why do you give them everything other than that? If your website designer does that, just run away. Your website designer should say things like, give me pictures of you. Give me a hero picture. You know what a hero picture is? It's down like this, right? That's on my homepage. I give them what they're looking for. Okay. Professional. Next, maybe they want to know whether or not you are a professional. You are, right? So you better put something there that says you're professional. Maybe it's give them the end result. Give them professionally written inspection reports, or maybe some blog posts, articles to show how much you know and how passionate you are about inspecting homes. or maybe a really good picture of you looking professional on your website, right? Do you look professional? Have you used InterNACHI's marketing team who work for you to design a professional looking logo and a professional business card? Remember, a real estate agent, if you're getting jobs from real estate agents, a real estate agent knows a crappy looking business card from 10 feet away. Don't have your cousin design a logo for you. Leverage InterNACHI. As a member of InterNACHI, you have all these resources, especially the InterNACHI's marketing team. Leverage that, use that. And maybe they're looking for someone who's certified. Maybe they need to know that you're certified. And you only have a few seconds to convey that you are an inspector, you're professional, and you're certified. Well, you better put InterNACHI's certification logos all over your website, right? I mean, CPI says it all. If they're looking for an inspector who's professional and certified, those 3 words, InterNACHI trademarked for you. It's a registered certification mark. Only InterNACHI certified professional inspectors, CPIs, can use this logo. It's unique for you. Don't use don't use your trade associations logos. Don't use your chapter logos or anything like that on your site. Don't use InterNACHI's logos. They're not looking for InterNACHI. They're looking for an inspector who's professional and certified. Give them what they're looking for, not a fancy house. Maybe you'll want to answer potential objections, resistance, or a hesitation in hiring you, or a hesitation in referring work jobs to you, right? So your content, the stuff that's on your website maybe you should address those concerns. Think about, why would somebody hesitate in hiring me? So let's assume that they hesitate in referring work to you. Like an agent is very hesitant in referring work and giving their client to someone else, right? Well, you can answer that resistance with InterNACHI's buyback guarantee on your website, right? That'll work. How about a ton of Google reviews to help people feel like hiring you is a good idea because a bunch of total strangers think you're the best. If they testify that you're an inspector who's professional and certified, then it must be true, right? Google reviews. Make sure your content is original, high quality, and valuable to your visitors. Google actually says, if you look up how to get a Google business profile, they'll say, scroll down a little bit, they'll give you 3 things that they're really looking for in your website, right? Central information, profile information, good valuable content, and then you keep posting and then you're interactive, right? So you want original content, high quality, and valuable. And it's very easy to do as a home inspector. Man, you come up, even if you don't have any jobs today, inspect your own home. If you don't have a home and you have an apartment or condo, inspect that and create original content where you are really passionate about inspecting that bathroom of yours and showing what it's like to convey tips on a toilet that's securely fastened to the floor, right? Show passion, add value to the conversation. I'm passionate about inspecting homes and buildings, and I try to add value to any conversation that I have about that. And any conversation could be an email, a text, a LinkedIn message, a reach out, a social media kind of thing, a reply. Any conversation, especially the content that's on your website. Keywords. Use keywords strategically, but naturally. In the past, there was a lot of emphasis on using keywords whenever and wherever you could. Just overload that homepage with keywords. Nowadays, you can get penalized for that. So you should only use your keywords when it makes sense, like in your title tags and your page headings. And Y'all know what keywords are? Keywords and search phrases are words or a group of words that people type into a search engine like Google in order to be matched up with the relevant content that they are searching for. That's what Google does in order to make a profit. They find the best website result for the people who are searching for that information. And smart SEO is all about focusing on those keywords and content that are most likely to reach people who are genuinely interested in finding you. Okay, so let's do a keyword search, okay? Let's go to Google. Let me check and take a look. Okay, you guys are, thanks for talking to each other. Awesome. Okay. Y'all hear me, right? Y'all see me and hear me? Good. This technology is good. Okay, so I'm on a Google page, right? And a keyword, this is what I mean by keyword, right? Home inspector in, oh, I must have searched for it before. Home inspector in New York. Let's take a look at that home inspector in New York. In the previous webinars, in this webinar series, we talked about search results and what this is, like the Google guaranteed. We talked about that, talked about sponsored, what is a sponsored one? Talked about government websites. They kind of, Google kind of likes government websites, right? Oh, and there's InterNACHI, like how to become a home inspector in New York and find certified home inspectors in New York. We pop up. So it's really good. InterNACHI generates leads. These are free leads for our InterNACHI inspectors, right? And then there's a map of Google, and you can Google map of New York, and you look for inspectors that way. And then there's more sponsored stuff. And then here comes some organic searches, right? And we talked about this in previous webinars. Like if you wanted to be at the top, well, I'd become an InterNACHI member, get certified for sure. You just saw it. We're on the top of Google searches. And then if you wanted to so that a person can quickly scan, and the crawler can also scan to see if your content is relevant. It's like scanning the chapters in the table of contents of a book that you may want to read. And it's the same for websites. You want to allow people, you only have a few seconds to capture someone's attention with your website and then provide them with valuable information that they're searching for. And you can do that with headings and subheadings. Let me show you what I mean. For example, let's go to my website that InterNACHI's official vendor for website designs has designed for me. And this is it. This is bigbeninspections.com. You can visit it, bigbeninspections.com. I kind of like this. I use this website to teach from, and a header and a heading and subheading. Let me tell you what that is. There's the tips for home buyers book. Here's the heading. You found the best inspector in Raleigh. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. And there's the subheading. I'll teach you everything about your home. Those are two things I want my client to understand. They're looking for an inspector, and really they're looking for the best inspector in a certain area, Raleigh. Okay, well, you found it. This is not a picture of a fancy home. This is a picture of me, the best inspector in Raleigh, right? And I'm eliminating hesitation of giving me referrals from agents, right? We'll buy your home back guarantee. And I'm ensuring that I am confirming I am an inspector who's professional and certified. Here's a header, here's a subheading. Here's a heading, here's a subheading. And we'll dive deep a little bit. Here's a heading and a subheading. Here's a heading and a subheading. So that's on my Big Ben inspection. Any visitor can easily understand the headings and subheadings on my website. That's been designed by InterNACHI's official vendor, right? Next, use heading tags. This gets a little complicated, but that's okay. Just like I told you, if you know about heading tags, then you can surprise your website designer with a question about heading tags. Hey, tell me about heading tags, right? I just hate it when InterNACHI members are paying a lot of money for a decent, good website, and they're not transparent. Like they'll kind of make SEO complicated and heading tags complicated. I want you to be informed enough to make smart decisions about your website design, and also to ask questions, because you're spending a lot of money for your website, especially if you are spending money on managing your website. Don't pay anybody for SEO. Don't pay anybody to manage your website. Once it's built, it's basically built. I want you to have enough knowledge so you can ask and make sure that you are getting the services that you need. Yeah. So let's learn a little bit about heading tags. Hang in there with me, right? It's a little technical, but that's okay. So these heading tags, it's really fun. They give structure to your web pages by dividing content into sections, okay? And heading tags are really vital for SEO and accessibility. Your site has a hierarchy, meaning it has a structure that helps web browsers and search engines and screen readers and people to understand how your site is organized and then how to present that content. So your inspector website should be built like a building, like a brick house, right? Each section of your web page should have each section of your web page should have a heading and a subheading, just like I showed you on my website. And each heading and subheading is then tagged. It isn't just like you have a sentence. You got to tag it. That's what we're talking about, heading tags, text tags. And inside each section, which is, let's say a page is a building, and each section block is like a level or a floor. Each section has a keyword in it. And keywords are like little signs that say, I have some relevant, valuable information on this floor for you if you want. And if you don't want it, okay, then go to the next level. And you can add these tags to headings. Like in a house, a heading is like a little sign or a door that opens, to the valuable part of information that people are looking for. Headings indicate whether they are really important, first level, H1, or sub-important, H2, right? And then there's other kind of structures. So your website is really, you need to hire somebody who understands buildings, who maybe it's InterNACHI's official vendor. I keep saying that because I know I'm a consultant for that company. I know that your website, especially inspector websites, need to be built like a building, where every section has valuable information. Every section has a heading, a subheading, and a tag. And it's built with a hierarchy and a structure. Why? Why is all this important? Because if it ain't built right, Google can't find you and connect you with someone who's trying to find you. Now, you can do all this on your own, Or you can do that wonderful word that I teach, delegate, right? But at least you know what you're talking about, because SEO is actually simple. It's not complicated. The only people who keep it complicated are the people who are trying to sell you an SEO service, right? Don't pay anyone for SEO. Don't pay anyone for management fees. And I want to help promote this NACHI.org/website. InterNACHI's official vendor for website designs builds from templates that are built like a brick building with all the SEO. Think of them as pre-manufactured homes, right? And then you get to customize each level of that building with you, especially that heading homepage. Take off the fancy homes, multi-million-dollar homes, unless those are the homes you inspect, makes sense. But most of us are inspecting the homes that we inspect, and they don't look like that. And guess what? It shouldn't be on that page either, because that's not the keyword search that people are looking for. People are not looking for homes, right? They're looking for a home inspector who's professional certified in a certain zip code. Those are the keywords. So give them what they are searching for. Okay. Okay. So let's dive a little bit deep into tags in relation to the text tags on your website. Okay. And preparing the text, the content that you're displaying on your website. And you got to use HTML tags for your text. Every page should have an H1 heading, and following that, HTML tags on each page should be sequential. Every page is like a separate dwelling. And the roof, the heading is like your H1 heading, right? On top of every page. And then it's sequentially organized and structured all the way down. So if the main heading on the page is an H1 tag, the subheading should be H2, right? And then other headings, other sections have a heading and a subheading. That should be an H and an H, right? Okay. It has to be structured in some way, whatever your website designer tells you. But I'd maybe ask. I'd be like, hey, tell me a little bit about your tags. Follow up on them. Ask them. Are you paying them a lot of money every month? $500 a month, $1,000 a month? You better be asking them some questions. Here is my website, bigbeninspections.com, through my dashboard. And this is what it looks like. It looks really weird. The guts of it, the structure of it, right? I showed you the heading, like it's published here, right? Looks really nice, beautiful. Yeah. And it's published on my mobile device as well, right? Looks beautiful. Oh, there we go. Looks beautiful, right? Yeah. Well, this is the heading and subheading. So let me show you a little bit of heading and subheading stuff on the back side. So if you go here, you highlight the heading of every page. Every page should have a H1, and this is what I'm talking about. You go down to SEO and accessibility, and you tag that with a HTML tag of H1. This helps browsers display your content like you wanted it to. This is a H2, right? Now, I don't want an H1 down here because every page has H1. So down here, sequentially, it needs to be built. You have to think about it as building, right? You're building what? A structure. This is H3, and this should be H4, right? And then you've got content here. Here's another one. We educate our clients. This is H3, and this is H4. You want to hire somebody who knows how to build a website so that search engines can find the information that people are looking for and connect it to you, right? And all of this, I mean, you can do yourself. I wouldn't. I'd just hire somebody who does it, who knows what to do. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to show you the backside, what it looks like. We'll dive deep. Headings should be descriptive. Headings, like, not this backs end stuff, not this, but his, right? headings. You found the best inspector in Raleigh. That should be descriptive. Tips for home buyers, right? Free download for you. So think of headings as labels for the text below it. This is important for SEO. A website that's well written with descriptive headings that are clear and concise and understandable will really help in Google ranking. So if I have a tips for home buyers booklet, the heading should say tips for a home buyers booklet. And if it's a free download for people, I should have a subheading that says a free download for you, right? Don't put it somewhere in here. Maybe in here, there's some keyword phrases, but here, tell people what this is. Remember, you're scrolling the table of contents and you're looking at the chapter headings and you're trying to get the gist of what is going on. We educate our clients. That's a heading. This is very descriptive. This is what we do best. We teach you about your home and how it works. That's all I want to do as a home inspector. I want to educate my clients. I want to give them the information, the valuable information, so that they can make smart decisions on buying the home and maintaining it and knowing how to operate it. Maybe save from home energy. That's what I want to do. So these headings are really important. And they're on every chunk, section of every page. Every page is like an individual house building, and there's a header and there's floors below, and each floor tells you what it's inside. And if you're interested, it's tagged and you go inside like a little door. You find valuable information. A website has to be built like a building. It has to be structured. It has to be done right. Or search engines just, they have no idea what all that text is. Spacing is important, right? It has to be understandable. It has to be easy to navigate, right? So while you're editing your texts or you're trying to figure out what to say on your homepage in a certain number of words, right? You can't just blab on. You have to be concise. Pay attention to how a heading is broken up into multiple lines. So I'll use my Big Ben Inspections website again. I like this break right here. You found the best. Best what? Inspector in Raleigh. And on my mobile device, it breaks not after best. That would be really odd. It breaks where it's just naturally designed well. Can you see? Oh, there it is. You found the best inspector in Raleigh. That looks nice. You can see the heading and the subheading and the buttons. That looks nice. It should look nice on devices, on a laptop and a mobile device. So you have to kind of pay attention. You have to hire somebody who's paying attention to how sentences are written. And long sentences, you can't just like break them because they have to flow. They have to be flexible and dynamic. They call it dynamic with the size of the screen, right? You want it to look good. So spacing is important. Again, add headings to the page body. H1s are added to the site header, and they may appear on every page where the header is displayed. If you don't have headers that are continual throughout, put it as a little blog, an article, today? Work on marketing. Work on your business processes. Work on your tools, and work on your website and SEO. And you can do all of the work yourself. You can hire the best website builder company that's affordable and includes SEO and management. Or you can just, delegate it to someone and not know what's going on and waste your money. We don't want to do that, right? I'd do the middle one, unless you're really into doing it yourself. But delegation, that's the key to success. SEO, work on answering people who are asking for or searching for answers on your website business right now. Work on signaling to search engines that your site is built really well and it has relevant information that's valuable for the people who are searching. This information is provided by Wix, wix.com. You don't have to pay anybody for a website. From wix.com, you can get a free website. And I don't care where you go, but get a website that's designed really well. And go to nachi.org/website for InterNACHI's official vendor, because they use Wix. And just like I showed you with my Big Ben inspections through the dashboard on the backside. We just learned how to optimize your web page content. In our next webinar, part 4, we'll learn about keywords and how to choose the right ones to search engine optimize your home inspector website. And that'll be December 8th at noon. That's part 4. So thanks for attending this webinar about SEO. I'll see you on the next one at nachi.org/webinars. I'm Ben Gromyko from InterNACHI. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe and healthy out there and work on your SEO. I'll talk to you later. Bye, y'all.